been to a 60th birthday party before?
I haven't
You can tell. No, yeah, exactly. Right? None of us have friends who are 60, so we're not sure if this is what we're supposed to do, if we're supposed to get up and make a speech. My dad would say rigmarole, but we're going to anyway. So thanks for listening. Anyone who knows my dad even vaguely, and everybody here knows him better than that. Yeah, everybody here knows him better than that. Knows that there is absolutely nothing my dad loves more than a microphone. Absolutely nothing. So because he will eventually one day get to do this for each of us, we thought today was as good a day as any to get up and talk about him. And so unlike what our dad will inevitably do when we get up here, is we're going to try and keep it together. We're going to try not to cry. We're going to try, but because each of us is really...
Don't cry, JJ.
Yeah, yeah, JJ especially. But because each of us is indeed our Father's child, we can't promise anything. Or as my dad liked to tell Catherine here when she was younger, is we're going to try and keep the waterworks to a minimum.
It's only 60.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you, JJ.
Everyone likes to think of themselves as intelligent, and so it may seem trite to start with the obvious, but our dad really is probably the smartest person any of us knows. Unfortunately...
Oh, let's pause on that. Can we get some affirmation? No, I don't think so. I'm seeing a lot of, confusion on this one.
Unfortunately, this is not always a positive attribute.
No, it's not. That's why we're talking about it.
Especially if you're an unsuspecting boyfriend.
Yeah, where are the boyfriends?
The first time my boyfriend Andy met our dad, the first question at the dinner table was, which 10 opening lines what were the 10 great opening lines to the American great novel? And
Come on, you all know that. Our generation knows.
Andy had beads of sweat dripping down his face and was shaking and hated me after that. But, of course, there was a particularly awful variation of I can't believe this is really happening moment.
I get
And
the willies, right?
Andy passed. I'm not sure how we managed to skirt by that question because we were all panicking. But he passed, and he's still here tonight.
Right over there.
But this dinner conversation perfectly captures our dad's curiosity about the world and his desire to engage with it in new and interesting ways. We guarantee our dad had thought about this very question before he subjected Andy to 5 of the most awful moments of his life, and that he has highly developed thoughts about what the 10 best opening lines are. And in fact, we very much encourage you to submit him to his own test and ask him what those might be.
It wasn't 10.
No points are awarded for Call Me Ishmael.
No points. One of the best things about our dad is his unending enthusiasm and willingness to try anything, to go anywhere, to alert you to the new and exciting things just around the corner. Probably everyone here knows his sense of adventure has made it possible for us to all do some really incredible things in our lifetimes. Live in Paris, or travel through the Greek Isles on a sailboat. Pretty tough life we've led. But it's really our dad's day-to-day approach to life that makes him so absolutely fun. One of the best weekends of my life was a visit, actually, from my dad in D.C. One of the last weekends I was living there. I'd been living there for 7 years, and I had created quite a bucket list of things that I really wanted to do, and it was a big, long bucket list, and I happened to mention it to my dad. I literally just mentioned it, and he was like, okay, great, we're off. and we had this amazing weekend. We had escargot at one of the most lovely cafes in DC. We popped into the German and the French embassies. We polka to the band at the German embassy. We ate just shucked oysters. Say that 10 times fast. At the waterfront, we traveled to Mount Vernon, explored George Washington's mounts, discovered a new favorite restaurant, and of course we saw the new Tom Stauber play. And it didn't matter that my dad had just come off a week of grueling business travel, or that literally the next weekend he was going to come back and move me out of my apartment, that other great dad pastime.
I didn't come. With my son.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. With my brother too. This is my dad, so. But he literally, he came in, and after literally a week of business travel, he came in, he had this amazing weekend with me, and then literally the next weekend came back and moved me out of my apartment. I didn't even go back with them. I went off to Hong Kong, and my dad was like, great, put it in the U-Haul, let's go. Like, that's what, yeah. I'm your dad, I'm gonna do everything for you. It's impossible to be with my dad and not become completely enveloped in his passion for life, to not have a better time just because he's there. This party is more than just about him. It's, you know, in his own words, it's so people can have a damn good time.
Many of you know these things about him. How smart he is, how much fun he is, how he can talk to anyone. But nobody but us knows what he's like as a dad. Maybe not even him. So we want to share that with you too. Our dad loves us beyond words. But perhaps just as importantly, our dad has utter and complete faith in us. He absolutely believes that all three of us could be, and should be, president tomorrow if we wanted to, and has even volunteered to fundraise for us, even though unfortunately Brina is a Democrat.
Sorry, we're the cheerleaders.
He trusts us completely in our ability to make important decisions for ourselves and to succeed, and encourage us to spend 3 weeks in Southeast Asia, to walk into one of the most renowned publishing houses in the world and land a job and figure out exactly, without help from him, how to get a trailer that has just fallen off of its trailer, or say the tow line has snapped back onto the trailer without his help. That one was fun, by the way.
Got you into college. It was good. The boat fell off the trailer. The trailer fell off the car. It was a long story.
John needs no help, JJ. Let's be honest.
And it has always been this way. He has always treated us as though we were completely able to engage with us on his level. This happened nightly at the dinner table, before we could even read the plastic placemats depicting the map of the world. What did we think about what was happening in Africa? How much did we believe in what was being taught in second grade religion class? Or in the summertime, much to my mother's recent disappointment, we have taken to smoking cigars out on the deck and discussing everything that is going out in the world. From great leaders of the 20th century to fusion power.
JJ taught me about fusion power.
Perhaps nothing illustrates how deeply this trust runs than a story about when Brina and I were 8 and 6 years old. When our parents first got married, they were too practical to get anything but simple gold bands. My mom is an accountant. Why spend money on a ring when you could spend it on a down payment on a house? But our dad is a romantic. And so for our mom's 40th birthday, he bought her an engagement ring to be presented at her surprise party. All of this, of course, is very secret and hush-hush. My mom, as many of you well know, would certainly not show up to her surprise party if she knew that there was one. So naturally, our dad shared all of this information with us. And not only did he ask us what